want your business to go to another level, you must try to learn and hear something new. So make the change today. So don't procrastinate and see your business grow and change. So check out Testing Results, yeah, with Toni Harris Taylor. Toni Harris Taylor. Testing Results, oh yeah, with Toni Harris Taylor. Yeah.
Welcome to the Marketing Strategies for Drastic Results show. My name is Toni Harris Taylor. I'm the CEO and founder of Drastic Results Marketing and Sales Coaching, where I work with franchise professionals and entrepreneurs to teach them how to show up, be up, follow up so that they can blow up their business. I'm also the CEO or the franchise owner for Network in Action, where I bring business owners together to build community, connections, collaborations, get some coaching so they can make more cash. Welcome to today's show. Today's show is entitled No Health, No Wealth. So what do I mean by that? Part of my branding and my program is all about showing up. The first key to success is to show up. Unfortunately, many people don't show up because they don't feel good. They're in chronic pain. They don't feel like they look good. They're overweight. They're just tired all the time. And it can impede your ability to show up. If you don't have good health, you cannot build great wealth, period. So we need to focus on being our best self, and especially as we get over 50. Don't ask me how I know, but especially when you get over 50, we have to take care of our health, whatever that means for you. And it's not a one size fits all that you'll feel better. Everybody will feel better if they exercise. I do not feel better if I exercise. That's Toni. I don't like to exercise, period. You'll feel better if you eat right. I do feel better when I eat right. So that's what I focus on, is eating right, so I don't carry extra weight, because if I'm carrying extra weight, I don't feel like showing up. But then also, as we get over 50, we sometimes have chronic pain. And today's guest is an NIA member. She was our member of the month, Ms. Pam Thomas. And Pam's going to talk to us about what to do when you do get a certain age and you're in chronic pain, but you still got to make your life go. So I want to encourage you all to make sure you're taking care of your health, because if you can't take care of your health, you are not going to market yourself. You are not going to show up. And ultimately, you're not going to serve the people that you're meant to serve. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with my guest, Ms. Pam Thomas, who's going to talk to us about how to handle chronic pain.
Are you a franchisor grappling with how to stimulate your franchisees' growth and revenue? Are the phrases, "I'm not comfortable networking," "I'm an introvert"? Enter Toni Harris-Taylor, your answer to these challenges. With her expert guidance and program, you can empower your franchisees to conquer networking and community outreach. Toni's program is designed to equip your franchisees with the skills and confidence to show up to the right events with the right people. It goes beyond making connections. It's about nurturing and leveraging these relationships. It's about following up, collaborating, and generating leads and referrals to maximize conversions, and ultimately increase revenue for your franchisees and for you, the franchisor. Are you ready to unlock this potential? Reach out to us at 832-479-2088. Let's embark on this journey of growth and success together.
Welcome back with my guest, Miss Pam Thomas. Hi, Pam. How are you?
Hey, Miss Toni. How you doing? I'm so excited to be here with my marketing mentor. Y'all don't know. I have admired this woman from a distance, and now I get to admire her up close. She's a mover and shaker. I know you all already know. But I'm excited to be here with you and share a little bit about what I do with your audience.
Well, congratulations on being NIA Member of the Month. And because you played full out and showed up, you get this opportunity to be on the show. So congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
In your own words, who are you and what do you do?
Well, I am Pam Thomas, and I am a multitude of things. But what I'm all about is helping folks align with their purpose so that they can really bring forth what they're supposed to bring to the world. It's so important that we take care of ourselves. You said it already. It's so important that we take care of all of ourselves. A lot of times we think we can do everything from our head and, completely run our lives from our head and let the mind take over. But the truth is the mind and body are supposed to work together for us to be able to manifest our visions. We need the body too. If the body's, as you said, if the body is not functioning, your ability to show up is greatly impeded. And so I'm a type A personality, or at least I'm recovering, let me say it that way. And I used to be the one running. And in my late 30s, all of a sudden, as you say, when you hit a certain age, all of the things that you did in your youth kind of show up in a way that's unexpected and can be painful. Let's just say it. The real deal is that I really was an active child. And so I was always out playing with the boys, playing with the girls. I did ballet, all that stuff. But I had lots of injuries, not major ones. I didn't break anything, but injuries along the way. And when I turned in my late 30s, let's just say that, all of a sudden I was like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, whose body is this? Because the pains came. So we can do a lot of things when we're young. And we know this about dieting too. We can do a lot of things. We can eat a lot of things when we're young. But when you get to a certain age, all of a sudden, all of those choices along the way catch up with you a little bit. And so in my late 30s, I was kind of faced with the choice. Am I going to decide to make some lifestyle changes? And we don't love lifestyle changes, but they're important. To make some lifestyle changes so that I could be what I wanted to be and do what I wanted to do? Or was I going to kind of fall into this hole, as it were? It felt like a hole because it was so different and new and uncomfortable.
So how did you take your situation, the pain you were in, and decide to make it a business? It's one thing to solve your own problem, but to then want to solve other people's problems. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and you know what, at the end of the day, so I've been to seminary, and I always think of my life as ministry in a certain way, even though my ministry is in the world, not in the pulpit. And the truth is, ministry always comes from your challenges and weaknesses. That's just the truth of what ministry is. And so for me, I started to get very quick results by making what were okay. So they were kind of drastic lifestyle changes. For example, I tried raw foods at one point, and it actually is very effective short term. I'm not, and I wouldn't recommend doing it the way I did it, like going from Easter dinner to raw foods in one day. That's too fast. But my point is, these lifestyle, never underestimate the power of just small lifestyle changes. And if you make one, you get incentivized to make the next one. And then all of a sudden, you can experience a really different experience in your body. So, it's hard to talk about it. And I know it's hard to get started, but if you take tiny steps, it can make all the difference in the world. I went to raw foods first, and in 2 weeks' time of eating raw foods, so let me just back up for a second. So I went to my physician, love her. She's a great person, but doctors are not always equipped to deal with these kind of lifestyle things. And so I had 10 symptoms. None of them were enough for me to be tested and all of that stuff, but 10 symptoms, and I was really uncomfortable. And she wanted me to go see a bunch of specialists because, it wasn't something my internist was equipped to deal with. And when they told me what they wanted me to do for the sleep study, I was like, oh, I don't think so. Sleep overnight with wires on and all of that. So I just decided to try something at home. That's the only thing I knew to do. And the diet was the first, most obvious thing. And 2 weeks into this raw foods experiment, 7 of my 10 symptoms were gone. Just 2 weeks. Yeah, it's drastic, right? You asked me that's what you talk about. That's drastic. I'm not recommending everybody do that. For me, that was the right choice. But then I realized I have control. Most recently, I'm found some movement styles called restorative movement that have literally changed my life. And I had a similar experience with that. So these are things that I adopted over the years because I found this style of movement that's gentle and simple, less than 30 minutes a day. I tried it for 2 weeks, and 2 weeks into this gentle, simple exercise that feels good, but then you also feel energized at the end, and you also feel relaxed and less stressed. All of that goes together, strangely enough. And 2 weeks into that, I heard a pop in my ankle, and this chronic pain from my ankle to my hip that I'd had for years, I don't even know how many years, disappeared. I don't mean it dissipated. It was gone. So these are the type of things that I'm wanting to share with people because, medicines and joint replacements are not necessarily the best option. And maybe you might want to try something a little less invasive first.
Absolutely. And the medication will kill you. It will. They combine medication and it's a mess. And so trying something more natural, because the body was designed to heal itself.
Yes, ma'am.
So we have to, but we haven't been taught how to tap into that when we have those chronic pains. I remember you were the spotlight speaker on an NIA meeting, and you actually did 10 minutes of different demonstrations and had us all out of our chair doing it with you virtually.
Yeah.
So on that note, do you work with people? First of all, where do you live? And then do you work with people virtually?
I live in Virginia, just outside of Richmond, Virginia, for those of you who know the state. But I actually work online. So one of the things is I've partnered with a physical therapist and an athletic therapist, and we are committed to providing affordable opportunities for people to access this stuff online. Okay. So you see Restore above me. Oh, sorry, I pointed with the wrong hand, but you see the name Restore. That's our platform. And we are providing this safe space for folks to come out and try these techniques. One of the things, you said something else that's really, really important. Not everything works for everyone. So one of the things is we're bringing practitioners, multiple disciplines together so that everybody can find their unique path to pain-free. And I can't get everybody pain-free, but it's surprising how many, it's well over 70% of people that I've worked with, they literally get most of their pain moved. And I
That's
can't guarantee you're never going to be injured, but we can help. And just having some sense of control over pain is life-changing for most people.
absolutely. Well, we're going to take a quick break and then we'll come back and ask the question that I ask all of our guests. So we'll be right back with Pam Thomas. We are back with my guest, Ms. Pam Thomas. She's talking about how you can restore your wellness with natural ways and you don't have to live in chronic pain. And what's interesting is she took her pain and turned it into a business. And so she is, because if you don't have your health, you cannot create wealth. And so I'm really glad to hear that you're taking this online as well, so that those business owners who are struggling to show up because they don't feel good can work with you, Pam. So I'm going to ask a couple questions. First question is, how has networking helped your business?
Oh, let me just say that I was vehemently opposed to networking a little over a year ago. And it's mostly because of my corporate experience of how they taught me to network. And it felt very not authentic to me. But let me say that since last fall, and I met you shortly thereafter, since last fall, well, actually, it was probably August of last year, I realized that networking, I know you can't really build a business without networking. As an entrepreneur, you do actually have to have the skill. But really, networking is about giving and sharing. And when you can approach it with the idea of giving and sharing, you build like a lifelong set of friends. Really, that's what ends up happening. We all will move forward more easily if we do it hand in hand. And we all have our own lane. There's no such thing as competition if you know who you are. So just show up as yourself.
Wait. Say that again for those in the back of the room.
Yeah.
Say it again.
There is no such thing. Competition is a meaningless concept if you know who you are and lean into that.
That's right.
We all have our own unique gifts to bring to this world. And the more that we hold hands and do this thing, we're going to create the world we want to live in.
I love that.
I mean, I'm an optimist. I'm a realistic optimist, but I'm still an optimist.
I love that because I have created the world that I want to live in. And it's through networking. I have so many amazing relationships globally. And it's because I'm confident in who I am and what I do. There's no competition to Toni Harris Taylor. My only competition is Toni Harris Taylor.
That's right.
So I get in my own way. But
we all do sometimes.
But I love that so much. And I love it that you came from a place of really, I hated it because of a past experience, but you stayed open. And now you recognize an entrepreneur cannot build their business without a network.
That's exactly right. That's exactly it.
Well, you said something earlier that may play into this question, and that is, what's the biggest drastic step you've ever taken in life or business?
Yeah. So I mentioned the one that was very drastic. And yet, strangely enough, when I went to raw foods, I literally cooked my parents' Easter dinner on Sunday. We had a fancy meal. And on Monday, I ate raw vegan for the next 2 weeks. It's kind of drastic. And I'm not recommending this for everyone, but yeah, I can be extreme at times. But all of that being said, it was actually, the truth of the matter was, it didn't end up feeling that drastic because I never had hunger pangs or anything. It was very unusual and unexpected. I don't think that's true for everybody.
I'm a true carnivore.
Yeah,
but I've done
yeah.
the raw thing for a couple weeks in the past. And I did it more so to prove to myself I don't have to have meat. And it felt very drastic at the time, but I tell you, it was so liberating. My stomach got flat. I felt good, had a lot of energy. So you may inspire me to go do that again for another step.
Yeah, and again, I can't honestly recommend it long term, particularly if you don't live in a warm climate. So the whole idea of raw vegan kind of came out of the islands, because in those warm climates, you can eat raw, beautiful food all year round. So I think for us in less tropical climates, it's harder. However, it's worth trying for a while just to see, and you said it, look, just to see what the edge of where you're willing to go. We got to be testing ourselves on all things.
And then the other thing is, a lot of chronic pain is caused by inflammation, which is the food you're eating, right?
That's right. And those types of foods, those raw vegan foods, are actually the ones that are anti-inflammatory. So yes, you're giving yourself a big dose of anti-inflammatory chemicals, as it were, because our bodies are chemical machine. And it can make a drastic difference really quickly. I also had pain. I mentioned that I had the pain relief. I also had weight, you get weight loss and all sorts of things that the joints need. You have to take care of your joints. I'm not saying you have to be thin. I am saying you got to take care of your joints. And part of that is being on top of your weight. You have to, because the extra weight does add pressure to the joints, but you also have to move every day. So that's one of the things that I love about what I do, is that I can give people skills that they can use at home that are very easy, simple, and allow them to have that, get their joints moving in the way that keeps them healthy.
Yeah, I love it. Well, Pam, tell everybody how to get in touch with you.
Well, reach me first of all at Pam at Fiber of Life. It's Fiber, Fiber of Life LLC. So it's an LLC.com. And I've got 2 link trees. I want you to be in touch with the Restore Collective, that collective of practitioners. So it's linktree.com/restore.collective. And I have my own, which is, I should have put Pamela J. Thomas into the thing, but my link tree is Pamela.J.Thomas. So I look forward to touching base with you all.
And where's that QR code behind you?
Oh, that's my link tree. That's the link tree. Yeah,
so
drop that. Scan that code if you want to get to the Restore website and find out what path to pain-free might work for you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being a fabulous member of Network in Action. You've been a joy for the past year. I didn't even know you didn't like networking, because you came in on fire, and we appreciate that. And, we'll see what happens in the next year or so. But I appreciate you trusting me to hold your hand and put you on this entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah. Look, you all, if you don't know Toni, you need to know her. Please don't miss the opportunity to get to know this lady. She's something special, really special. And thank you so much for having me here. I appreciate your support along the way, because you have been extremely supportive on my journey this last year.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Pam. And we will talk to you soon. We're going to take another break, and we'll be back with my final thoughts. That's right. Pick up your copy of Show Up, Be Up, Follow Up to Blow Up at showuptoblowup.com. Also, if you're interested in connecting with me, go to my calendar at meetwithtoniharristaylor.com and schedule a get to know you one-to-one. Wasn't Pam fabulous? She took her pain, literal pain, and learned how to restore her health. And now she's taking that restoration out into the world to teach others how to get pain less. She doesn't guarantee free, but get pain less without medication. And she's just a dear and a joy to be around. So make sure you connect with Pam Thomas. Listen, I love doing this show. Sharing is caring. If you know someone who needs to tune in weekly to the show, can you please send them a link and tell them to subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on LinkedIn and Facebook? And that way they can catch the show every week. So happy to have you. This is Toni Harris Taylor saying take a drastic step today for a fantastic tomorrow, and we'll see you next week. Bye.